This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN. What's happening, Ed?
All good, mate. We're back on the Stomping Ground. The absolute bane of my life. But what can I say? I suppose I've got to do it, haven't I?
That isn't because of me. Can we
Well,
make
just
that
in
clear?
general. I mean, these actually.
I thought you was actually going to start chatting without our
There you go. Ha.
new and fresh
Take
mic
that,
covers.
Parsons. Yeah.
I heard you've been with the City boys today and Mr. Guardiola.
Man City, yeah, it's a great experience. I mean, for those of you that don't know, on Saturday night we're opening up the Co-op Live for its first ever fight night. Stunning new arena in Manchester. It's also on the same campus, if you like, as the Etihad Stadium. And today I went down and watched the boys train. Met Pep, Grealish, Foden.
I don't want to come across as a prick because I was thinking about this. Does Pep Guardiola know who you are?
Yeah, he actually asked. I was actually quite surprised because he was like, "Hey, yeah, come." Like, and I went over and I was like, "All right, Pep." We talked a bit of golf. Do you know what I mean? Me and Pep going to have a little 9-hole knock coming up, I think.
I was going to say, I can't
do you know-
believe you've
do you
got
know
one
what
of
it
the
is?
best managers in the world and spoke golf.
Everybody loves boxing, so we talked a little bit about boxing, and with Phil and Stones and Grealish, they all love their boxing. They love it.
Yeah.
And I am boxing, so obviously it was a big moment for them.
Do you reckon a few of them will be in here on Saturday
Yeah,
night? 'Cause
yeah,
they've got a
they're
3 o'clock
playing.
on.
Yeah, they're playing Southampton.
Yeah.
You know, Parsons is on the Ponce for free tickets. He's already been on to Frank Smith.
I know, yeah.
I know.
It's Frank Smith, the club, the players,
Yeah, exactly. So
black market.
I will actually say one thing. When I came out of the ground, you know, there's people trying to get photos with the players as they come out. Some geezer come over to me and went, Eddie, can I have a photo? And I went, yeah, no problem. And he went, literally watch you and Parsons every night. I was like, oh my God. So yeah, that is actually a true
Do
story.
you find that a bit odd?
I find it odd that someone would want to watch Parsons. But then I realised they're not actually watching Parsons. They're just watching me. And he happens to be interviewing me. So it's not really watching Parsons.
Only because someone come up to me and Charlie and said, and I found the way he worded this creepy. He went, I fall asleep to your 2 voices every night.
Yeah, I mean, that's
It's a bit
odd.
odd, isn't it?
Odd, very odd. I mean, no, I understand. I
know what he's
get
trying to get
I get a lot of people saying they, you know, if you haven't downloaded my audiobook, Relentless, you can actually listen to me narrating my book. And that is amazing to listen to. I mean, 1, it's a great book, but 2, imagine those dulcet tones just sending you off every night. That's something special.
Female sales must be through the roof,
Wow.
mate.
You said it.
Yesterday, the press conference, before we talk about why we're here today, obviously a busy 48 hours. Did you enjoy being on Frank and Tyson's top table?
Yeah, it just shows how things have changed, really. Like, obviously, Turki Al-Sheikh is the governor, right? He runs everything. And you've got me, Frank, obviously George Warren as well, and Spencer. And we are, I guess you could call us the committee that sit below His Excellency and kind of deliver his ideas and his vision with his team and with Seller and everybody else. And, you know, when I've got a main event like AJ or like Bivol Beterbiev, you know, we will make sure that Spencer is up there. And when Spencer's got a main event and it's, you know, I've got the other side, Frank's up there, do you know what I mean? So yesterday was just one, I don't want to be that guy, that competition winner that's kind of like edging himself on the end of the table. So I just said to Frank and Spencer, I'll see you later. That was after the first presser. I'm going to shoot up to Manchester. And they were like, no, you've got to do the presser. And it was actually, I'll be honest with you, it touched my soul a little bit. Because it was a little, you know, it was a kind of show of unity. I haven't always got on with Tyson Fury. I don't think if he had a choice, I'd necessarily been on his table. But then I said to Spencer, look, I'll sit on Usyk's side. And he went, no, come and sit with us. Do you know what I mean? So I'm Team Fury. Do you know what I mean?
And it's just funny. I think the room was shocked when you went, I'm back in the Brit, because you were history
But I
with
always back
Usyk.
the Brit anyway. And I love Usyk. We had 5 fights together, whatever it was. He was great. I love Alex Krasuk, the team. Really good people. But I have to back Tyson Fury in the fight because 1, he's British. And 2, I think it opens up a massive fight with Anthony Joshua. And I'm fond of, obviously, Spencer, who's his manager, and Frankie's promoter. So yeah, I don't mind saying it. I'm Team Fury. Listen, life changes real fast, you know. You had an incident today at the press conference with Sam Jones. Sometimes how you feel today is very different to how you feel in 2 years' time.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, how many times have you pulled up an interview from me that I did 6 years ago saying something. He's like, oh, well, 6 years ago you said this. Yeah, but 6 years ago maybe I was uneducated on the matter, or maybe my feelings changed, or maybe I found out more about something. There's no shame in that. And I feel like I'm really enjoying boxing at the moment. And, you know, people say, oh, Eddie and Frank, oh, Eddie. It's like, but I'm enjoying it. And for years and years, we just fought and fought and fought every day. Do you know what I mean? So I'm happy, and I'm enjoying the job. Yeah. And I'm enjoying Riyadh season, and I'm really looking forward to Saturday night because it's a big, big show, and we've got to keep these big shows coming for British boxing.
Yeah. Saturday night main event is just off the cards. Brilliant fight. A quick one on the actual press conference yesterday. So I remember obviously in Riyadh, and I know Dev stuck you on the spot a bit when you said that you didn't feel like Beterbiev was giving enough, and it come across as arrogant a little bit. Do you kind of feel the same about yesterday? Yes, it's a fight that don't need selling, but it was almost comical how little both. There was
but if you think about it, hold on. Oleksandr Usyk dressed up as the hitman,
true, okay,
right?
Yeah, true.
He asked for a special walk-on. He came in with a briefcase. He put it down. Like he did more than enough in that press conference. Fury didn't really want to be there, to be honest with you. And then he sort of gets the ump a little bit, and then, you know, but I don't know. Like, there's a big difference between the profile of Oleksandr Usyk and Tyson Fury and Artur Beterbiev. Like, sometimes a fight like Beterbiev and Bivol, you need to sell that to the casuals, so you want more to be said. And that's when I chimed in and piped up, because I'm just trying to get things going. You don't really need to do that with Usyk Fury. And listen, you will get it as things get closer. But yeah, maybe you would have liked a few more things to be said. But December 21st, all will be revealed.
Yeah. Where do you think Big John Fury was?
No idea, mate.
The room was a lot quieter yesterday.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering. Did you see Fury go off at the IBF? In his interview with Charlie?
Mm.
Yeah. Thoughts on that?
I mean,
has he got a right to be annoyed, do you think?
Not really, because he didn't lose the belt. Oleksandr Usyk lost the belt. You know, I mean, and Usyk chose to vacate for the Dubois-Joshua fight, and because he had to fight Dubois, or he'd get stripped. So, but I get it. I think the IBF are very frustrating on a number of decisions that they make, to be honest with you.
I know they're quite strict with mandatories, but, and you know, it's not for me to say sitting behind this side of the camera, but it does feel like they pull rank at quite convenient times.
It's maybe not that. They follow their rules. No, but they follow their rules.
Opetaia's got an IBF.
They follow their rules, Oscar. It's like, it's nothing dodgy about it. No. In fact, it's undodgy, because they're by the book. I just feel like a lot of the time there's like a common sense element missing. Like Boots is a good example. He's fighting Chudazian. He's beat him, right? Like, we want to make the big fights. Now we've got to rematch this guy. All right, we'll get the job done. No problem. But like Michael Effort, whatever his name is, gets ordered as mandatory to fight Beterbiev. It's like, whoa, mate, who? Like, who is he? You got to beat someone significant to land a shot at the world title. That's why Jack against Regis Prograis. It's kind of like an unofficial final eliminator. Because, yeah, but this is right. You know the winner of this fight should be fighting for a world title. Not Michael Effort fights some geezer you've never heard of, and he's mandatory on 35% of the pot against the undisputed champion. Yeah. So sometimes common sense hopefully should come in. And why have you done your laces like that? Like,
I've just done them up once, like one knot.
They're like really tight and both hanging over the sides.
How did you want them to be done? Like,
I don't know, really. I don't actually know what's cool with laces. Like, I always tuck my laces in like that, right? So you can never see them. I was expecting to look
down and see like Velcro.
No.
You've got laces. You've just tucked them in.
What are you laughing at?
What's cool about you've literally got laces?
No, but I tuck my laces in. But I don't know what to do. If that is what I'm supposed to do, then I've got to change my ways, because that don't look right to me.
Fair enough. It is a little bit like, Joe, the bunny as you get taught when you're a kid how to do
Sergio
laces.
Tacchini, is that back in?
We had this before you and Parsons used to banter. This is what you used to banter me
Sergio
about.
Tacchini, yeah. Interesting.
Sergio's always in, mate. I'll have you know. One more before we talk about Catterall Prograis, actually. Did you expect the spice between Dennis and Peter yesterday?
Yeah.
That far out from the fight as well?
I love the fight. I really like Dennis McCann, I'll be honest with you. Like, I think he's a character.
Two top lads.
Yeah, I think he's a character. I think he's a really good fighter, and he backs himself. he's getting beat December 21st. I'm telling you. McGraw's going to beat him.
Do you think he'll stop him? I know he's a vicious puncher, as we saw against Brad Foster.
Yeah, but, you know, I mean, look, Pete's not really renowned as a massive one-punch knockout artist, but it was a great knockout against Foster. I don't think Dennis is a massive puncher. They can both punch. They're both brilliant fighters. I mean, I really believe they're two future world champions. I just think Peter beats him. But listen, big respect to both guys. May the best man win.
Yeah, love that fight. Right, finally, Catterall, Prograis. Just how good of a fight?
Such a good fight. I mean, you know, probably, well, arguably the best fight in the division anyway. Certainly without the world championships. And you've got to give respect to Jack. You know, this is his third fight in 12 months. He headlined in Liverpool against Linares. He headlined in Leeds against Josh Taylor. And now he's headlining in Manchester against Regis Prograis. It's a proper fight. And it's great to see two top 5 guys fighting each other. You know, we've got Paro, we've got Hitchins. They fight December 7th. And I think the winner will land a shot at the world title. I'm also here in full for Campbell Hatton against Jimmy Joe Flynn. I absolutely love it.
United versus City as well.
Yeah, but it's like, man, you know, you saw Bivol Beterbiev. Not every fight is an undisputed fight. Sometimes there's English title fights and that level. And that's what this fight is. But at the same time, it's must win. And if Campbell Hatton loses, his career on this kind of stage is in jeopardy. Michael Gomez against Reece Bellotti, cracking fight. Pat McCormack, I think, is one of the best prospects in world boxing. You know, throw in Joe McGraw, throw in William Croller, that I think is fantastic. Steve Clark, Emily Whitworth. It's a great night of boxing on Saturday. Exactly the fight card that we need right now. And tune in, enjoy it live on DAZN.
Yeah. I know you've been getting bits of stick from especially Oscar De La Hoya about matchmaking and fighters losing, etc. But when you put them in good fights, that is what can happen. It's just nice to hear Jamie Moore and Jack go, look, I didn't want to wait on a world title. You've got a piece in Liam Power as well. So they didn't want to wait. They was like, find me the best fight you can find me. And that's the exact fight I want.
The aim is to make great fights. Like, you can lose in a great fight. I just hate it's a bad style or that's a bad matchup. You know, if you had that, no one would play anybody in sport. You know, do you think that, I don't know, what's your football team?
Chelsea.
Well, not a great analogy, but, you know, when Chelsea play Man City, it's not great style for them, is it? They're fucking really good. Do you know what I mean? But sometimes you might squeeze a win, and sometimes you're going to get beat, or most of the time you're going to get beat. But that's just sport, isn't it? Like, shouldn't you be taking on the best? And I hate the way fighters get criticised. I don't care about me getting criticised because it is what it is, but I just want to give you great fights. I want to watch great fights. And if our fighters lose in a great fight, in a really close run decision, Madrimov Crawford, Bivol Beterbiev, many others, you know what? That's okay, because we're chasing greatness, motherfuckers.
I love it. That would be a perfect way to close, but I've got to ask you one more thing. I know it never goes perfectly, but if you could map out the 140 division tying itself up and there being an undisputed champion, how does it play for the next 18, 24 months?
I mean, what you got Sandor Martin fighting coming up against, can't even remember his name, but you've got Paro against Hitchin December 7th. I think the winner of this fight should fight the winner of Paro against Hitchins. Obviously, you've got Teofimo Lopez all over the gaff at the moment with Top Rank. God knows what's going on there. It's bizarre. I'm not, I don't look at the division chasing undisputed. I do at 147 because that's what I want Boots to do. But I just think there's great fights to be made. Look at our talent at 140. You've got obviously Jack Catterall, Regis Prograis. You've got Liam Paro. You've got Richardson Hitchins.
Is Dalton in that competition?
Dalton Smith, absolutely. Dalton Smith will fight for a world title. No, he's going to fight Fernandez. And after that, Dalton, listen, we nearly made Liam Paro against Dalton Smith. We nearly made it. But just wasn't quite ready for Dalton. But he's up for that fight.